You know, there are principled conservatives who disagree with President Trump's agenda, and that's normal. That's healthy. The president hears all sides before making his decisions. As your liberty-loving Latino, I can attest that the only person I agree with 100% of the time is me. But a sad and sickening trend in the GOP goes beyond believing there's more than one way to skin a cat. I'm seeing an infiltration, the rise of the fake Republican, and I'm happy to report that those who take the GOP brand seriously have begun to fight back. Democrats try to co-opt the GOP brand. That's my focus in today's preamble. I'd like to thank and applaud the Republican Party of Montana. This party has grown tired of electing Republicans who then turn around and push leftist policies or enable Democrats to kill conservative policies. The Montana Republican Party has censured 9 state senators who will no longer be considered a Republican. In a press release sent April 4th, the party's executive committee announcing it had censured the 9 senators for their repeated alignment with Senate Democrats and for undermining Republican priorities and the leadership. The censure calls out the 9's unprecedented alliance with Senate Democrats as a coordinated scheme to undermine the Republican leadership, in essence, to stop the America First agenda. In Mississippi, the alleged Republican speaker there has given powerful committee chairmanships to Democrats, even after seeing what that party has done to America over the last 2 decades. You know, the violence, the lawlessness, the open borders, fiscal insanity. Not just Mississippi and Montana either, where America has a proverbial rhino problem. In South Carolina, despite the GOP having a supermajority in that legislature, so-called Republicans have come up with an intricate system of subcommittees run by Democrats to make sure the Democrats have way more power than they earned at the ballot box and to make sure conservative legislation is never implemented. It's even worse in my home state of Texas, the largest alleged red state in our union. Fake Republicans installed the same subcommittee system as South Carolina, appointing Democrat chairs to defeat conservative bills. But under the leftist rule, the Texas House doesn't even bother to show up for work. Dusty the Democrat Burrows, the Speaker of the Texas House, despite knowing he didn't have a quorum, declared one was present anyway in violation of the Texas Constitution. He would have done business on behalf of Democrats if it weren't for Representative Brian Harrison, who forced him to take a roll call revealing his lawless treachery. Many of you might be saying, in red Texas? How does that happen? Well, Dusty the Democrat was installed when 36 fake Republicans voted with 50 leftists to elect a Democrat-approved Republican speaker. In reality, he's a Democrat speaker. That's right. In the House right now, they've got 150 members, 88 of them, 59% allegedly Republicans, but 36 of them vote with socialists. So are they really Republicans? Ronald Reagan knew and understood that if someone was going to call themselves a Republican, that title came with an expectation and standards that needed to be lived up to. In other words, if you call yourself a Republican, you should act like one. And voting to empower and advance the policies of a Democrat Party that has declared its hatred of Christians, cops, Jews, the rule of law, and American prosperity, that isn't the way. So kudos to Montana for making Republican mean something again. Praise God, other Republican parties across the fruited plain do the same and start kicking out leftists who have infiltrated their party. You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.